hello, and welcome to another episode of the Lions Den podcast, another Monday night football here to talk about everything Club Leon related in English. We'll talk about this past, we had a midweek game, talk about what happened in the rest of the jornada on the weekend, and definitely previewing into tomorrow's matchup versus Toluca, which will be very interesting as we will reunite with our old Domador de la Fiera in conjunction with some other players that we do not want to talk about anymore, but hey, we still will. So, Javi, Louis, and Carlos, gentlemen, how are we feeling tonight?
Really good, I think.
Good and ready for this matchup. Should be definitely the most interesting one so far.
I agree.
Only match day 5. But already some standings implications as well as the whole narrative surrounding Toluca, which we will get into in depth here in a minute, I'm sure.
Yeah, I just feel like it's a very important game because we need to win at home because we haven't won at home, and the game against Pumas kind of felt like a win, but it wasn't a win. So I think this is why, and again, what Louis just mentioned, against Toluca, el partido del Morbo for sure.
Yeah. Probably el partido de la jornada. It's going to be crazy interesting game because we haven't won in 3 games. They've all been draws. So I want to see where this team's going. I want to see if this team has enough to pull out a win against what people are considering the best team in the league right now, el mejor reforzado maybe. Or if if something crazy is going to happen and we're going to lose. I don't know. Or maybe we'll just get another tie, but it's definitely going to be an interesting game against Nacho Ambriz's Toluca de Leon.
Definitely will be. So with that being said, we're going to go ahead and preview. Go ahead and recap past game Chivas versus Leon. I know Javi and Louis were there, so that definitely let us know how that went. Carlos, are you ready for the pregame? Let's do it.
Let's go. Pre-game news, Steven Barreiro suspended for 1 game for receiving that red card against Puebla, so he was not in the starting 11. Kind of had to mix things up there in the center back positions. But it turned out okay for us, I think. I think Ambriz came in there, did maybe a better job than Barreiro has done all season. So maybe Paiva might use him there going forward, but I don't know. We'll see. Elias Hernandez returned. He got some minutes. Not sure it was his chance or his turn to get playing minutes. I thought it was maybe Fede's turn to get some minutes. We knew he had a really good start this season. I thought maybe he deserved to get some minutes over Elias. We can debate that. Julian Celestin was also presented. He's going to wear number 2, and he should be ready by tomorrow. He is on the match day roster. So, so new player incoming tomorrow. What do you guys think? You guys think he'll play?
That's a really intriguing storyline for me. Not just whether he'll play tomorrow, but what was he really brought in to do? Is he just a depth piece? Or do they really plan on having him be titular indiscutible in the Central? Like, we really don't. There's a lot of uncertainty about that right now. I think just as often as Barreiro se hace expulsar, like, it's whether or not whatever the plan is, it's nice to have an extra guy, an extra player, as someone to fall back on in that situation. But I'm curious as to what Paiva's plan is with Celestin. Like you said, Carlos, I mean, Fidel Ambriz has played 3 good halves at center back now, 3 scoreless halves at center back right now, dating back to the match against Puebla, the second half against Puebla and the clean sheet against Chivas. He looked pretty good back there. I don't know if that's the best use of his abilities. I think he's got a good shot from distance. We've seen it in a few different games. He's got some playmaking ability, some possession ability, some contención ability. I mean, I think nominally he is a contención. And I see him kind of as more of a versatile deep lying playmaker rather than a pure central. But he's been good in that position. And, you know, as we've said before, as the saying goes, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I'm curious if, like you said, maybe Paiva chooses to keep going with what's working. 3 scoreless halves. Controversially, if you ask a fan of the team that we just drew with, we can get into the whole VAR thing and all that. But yeah, I'm curious what Celestine's role will be. I'm curious to see what he can do, what he can bring. But and center back, I mean, that's a hard position to have variantes for. You kind of just want to have your guys and go with them as much as you can. It's not like, you know, higher up on the pitch, you can kind of shift guys out and switch guys out. In the attack, it's a lot easier. That the back line, you kind of just want to go with something stable, go with what's working. So I'll be very, very curious to see if he breaks in, if he gets minutes tomorrow, if he gets minutes going forward. But in any event, it's nice to have that option back there with as many cards as we are likely to rack up on that back line. Not just Barreiro, but also Osfi and whoever else.
I agree with the last exactly. That's going to be the thing. What is Paiva going to do? Because, like you said, the importance of having a back line is those two centrales need to really know each other perfectly because they need to be more in sync than many other positions on the field. So is he going to keep not just the Bellon, Fidel Ambriz, but eventually think about when Tecillo comes back and who he thinks that's going to be his starting centrales. So if he starts or not, I like you said, I like what Fidel and Bellon did. Does Barreiro come back for this game?
He was convocado. I don't know if there's going to be a ley Paiva like there was a ley Ambriz where.
Come on, Paiva, be cool.
Set out an extra match. I just don't. I don't think we have that luxury right now.
I don't either.
I assume Barreiro will start, but I'm willing to be surprised.
Yeah, I think he'll start just because he knows like some of the opponents. He knows Meneses really well.
Yeah, he definitely has to start, huh? Like, yeah, there you go, Carlos.
Yeah,
he knows those for sure. Yeah, he has to start, I think. And Bellon, yeah, and Fidel, he did a really good job. I also agree, but I also think it's like the Yaito situation. I think they're good, versatile players, but maybe they're not being used in their best position.
Which I just thinking of something random I saw. It's not Bellon, it's Bellon, right? I've been seeing it on Twitter.
Bellon. Yeah, it's Bellon.
Yeah, okay.
I need to stop saying Bellon.
That just switched my mind. Bellon. But I want to say Bellon because it's double L.
Is that how the French say it? Is that how the French say it?
Yeah, he's half French.
But the French say Bellon? Bellon? They say Bellon?
Bellon.
I ain't French. Yeah. I ain't French. I'm going to say Bellon. I can say Bellon. It's like, we were talking about Louis, his last name, and he'll be like, he always tells everybody, Olenik, right? And I was like, Olenik. And I'm like, Olenik? I thought it was Olnik. In the whole life, I would always say your last name.
Yeah, but like that though, Javi.
But like, why would he make people say something? You know, like, why would he make him call him Olnik?
Because I try to make things easier for people here.
Yeah.
So there's no way my name spelled would they ever read it the way it's pronounced in English. That just is never going to happen, and I understand that, so I make it easier for them.
it was a whole conversation that it caught me off guard. I was like, Olenik, like I thought it was Olnik. Yeah, bro, but you know they're not going to say it like that.
Well, we had time to converse because we got to the hotel well past check-in time, but our rooms were not ready.
So mad.
So we had plenty of time to chat. Because it was the hotel person that I'd given my name to. That's why he was curious.
Yeah. I was like, what? Yeah. All right, so we'll kind of call him Bellon. Bellon.
Paul Bellon. I'll say Bellon. I mean, whatever. What else? I had something in mind that I was gonna say. I think Carlos had mentioned about Elias. No me gustó. I mean, I love Elias. I love Portuguero. Pésimo juego for me.
Yeah, I think he's not in shape. He's not in shape yet. I think.
Well, how many minutes did he have?
He played what? 8? 15 minutes.
He played 15
less.
minutes. But here's the thing: Israel Romo said 2 weeks ago Elias had a cast on his leg, and 2 weeks later he's on the pitch. Didn't get to have a preseason with the team. Hasn't played under the coach. He's totally out of rhythm. Why would you put him in?
Why would he play him? Yeah, I never.
That's weird.
You have.
What did Paiva see in him? Maybe.
I mean, I don't
that
know.
Wasn't there.
But you have Fede,
I don't know.
who got off to a hot start,
Yeah.
and you have him on the bench. He hasn't played in 2 games. And
Yeah,
nobody
it
knows
was
why.
it's a curious decision, but I love me some Elias. I trust him to come on and do something. I cannot stand how much
The
tanto
Elias
que le
hate.
han
Tell him.
tirado,
Tell him.
tanto que le han tirado ever since he came back. Like even that first Holland season when he bailed us out of so many matches, and they still like nobody was people was he's not like he used to be, which they were equating to mean that he's useless, which is absolutely not true. Yes, he's not what he used to be. He wasn't what he used to be when he came back, but he is still a good player who bailed us out of at least 5 or 6 matches that I can personally remember that I was at. So like I refuse to speak ill of Elias.
Yeah, we had a conversation on the way to Guadalajara about that, and I don't get it either, man. Like, if you think about it, si mete como 10 goles más, he's like top 10 all-star, todos los tiempos goleador histórico de León. How are we gonna respect a player like
I don't
that?
think we're throwing shade at him. I think it's just a tactical decision to put him in.
Oh
a
yeah,
match
no,
like
that's
this, where
no,
that's
not
clearly not in
not.
shape.
Yeah, clearly, I agree with that. We're talking about the Twitter for the ya meses atrás, and a couple of personas que they still kind of throw hate. I don't know, maybe he didn't give him an autograph one day. I don't know. Sometimes a lot of these things are personal, bro.
Yeah.
So I never try to get involved. But yeah, I also agree. Fede could have been a better option. I'm blind. I can't see, so I really didn't know who was coming. I would always tell Louis who's coming in, and Louis was just mad because Chivas situation, the fans, and yeah.
So I'm guessing it was an interesting
Ooh, el ambiente. I mean, it wasn't that many people like I thought, but
I'll give him credit. That stadium is the blandest, most overrated, boring atmosphere in terms of live Liga MX atmospheres in down here. I've said it before. I'll say it again. Chivas has more fans in Los Angeles than they do in Guadalajara. Like their home stadium environment is pathetic for what they try to sell themselves as, for the kind of franchise that they attempt to pass themselves off as. Like you can't be el equipo de un país entero until you're el equipo de tu ciudad, which they are not. If you are in Guadalajara and you ask people, you probably find more Leones Negros fans than Chivas fans, and certainly more Atlas fans.
So
like
Atlas for sure, though.
In the city of Guadalajara. But to their credit,
I always complain about. I mean, I don't know if it's complain. Let me take that back. I do complain about when I go to the games here in Santos. I don't feel like I'm in a Mexican soccer game. And when I went to León, it was like that is where I thrive. That's where my emotions are like on top. And here it's like I don't feel it. So asking you, Louis, can you think about Torreón versus Chivas?
I think they kind of suffer from the same syndrome. Like I would have loved to go to a game in the original Estadio Corona, in Torreón, and I would have liked to go see Chivas play when they still played at the Jalisco. I think in both cases they
too far away, right?
Changed. First of all, they changed the accessibility of the. I don't want to say lower class, but the more limited financially, shall we say, parts of the fan base. They limited the accessibility to the team, both in terms of distance to where they play and also ticket prices and just the whole vibe they're kind of trying to sell with the team. I think Chivas and Santos are a little bit comparable in that way. That the environment that you go to when you see them play in these new stadiums, which are beautiful facilities. They're very nice, especially Santos. The Estadio TSM is one of my favorite places to go see a game in Mexico. It's a very, very nice place, but it's also fresa, and in the norte they're also kind of fresa, and like they kind of wanted to make it a thing for people with money. Let's say I don't want to get into a political or a sociological discussion here, but Mexico is a country very divided in terms of its wealth. And I feel like in the norte, like in Torreón, that's even more exaggerated. They are very, very wealthy people, and they're very, very not wealthy people. Kind of the same thing happens in Guadalajara, and the atmosphere in the local these partidos como local for these big important clubs kind of suffers. To their credit, it was about half full, I would say. It maybe a little bit less than half full in Zapopan. for a Wednesday night game, 9 p.m. start, not against like a rival mediático. I mean, a traditional big rival. Obviously, we talked about how León and Chivas was the original clásico, but the media does not consider that anymore, and the modern Chivas fans really does not consider León to be a clásico. So for that stadium to be as full as it was, on a Wednesday night at 9 p.m., I will give them that, but it wasn't anything.
It was cool, man.
It was cool, but it could have been. It can always be better. It can always be better.
And
you go there,
and
you're always
yeah, no. Here's the thing. What you're saying that I agree with. The first thing I told you was like, there's no buses or nothing that takes. It's like after the game, you got to get an Uber. There's no other way if you don't have a car, and that could be kind of annoying, man. Like even here in León, tenemos las orugas. Like even if they stop working like after like 10 or 11. At least you can still get to the game. Like people have to at least walk. I saw people walking. How far are they walking to get to that stadium? It doesn't make sense. But
you can either take a taxi that will charge you 5 times as much as they normally would to get out of there, or you can order an Uber. But I don't even know where you wait for the Uber there when the game is over. Everybody's trying to get out, or you drive.
Trying to get out.
I mean, I have a car, so I drive there and luckily it's pretty close to here. I mean, it's only a few hours drive from here, but. Yeah, it's just they la rifaron with the stadium itself. The stadium itself is very, very nice. Always has been. But just the environment and it's so frustrating when you go as a visiting fan and you understand what that team is trying to pass itself off as, and you're like, it's a mentira. It's a lie. It is not.
Also,
it's not real. You just can't be. You can't be what they're trying to be when you don't even captivate your city. You know?
Yeah.
Yes. They're not as Chivas Rayadas de Guadalajara or de Zapopan. Freaking I like the fact that I did see a lot of León fans. I mean, I heard them. They were mostly they weren't where we're sitting, but they were always I was
sitting in the same place. Yeah.
Yeah. I just love like the environment. Cuando dicen arriba las Chivas and someone said arriba la fiera. And it was just like nonstop. And it was like I love it. There's always
a healthy number of León fans there. There were actually quite a few rows down from us in the same section. I ran into people that I knew.
Yeah, people that you knew, they were stopping you, take pictures. Casfiro Viajero. People were stopping me because they're like, tu playera.
I don't remember. I don't think anyone took a picture this time. But yeah, there's always a lot of green in those. There's always a lot of green in those stands, and that is nice to see. It's a nice contrast with those red seats.
Yeah, it is. I just figured that for me, it's always going to be like, well, he gets the pictures, but people want to buy my shirt all the time. Like, hey, ¿cuándo por tu playera? Nah, I'm not selling this shirt. Get it all the time. Never. I've had 18 years.
So going back to the game, I was hearing a Twitter space after the game, which is pretty funny because I had a lot of raza on there talking about what they thought about the game, and it's kind of all over the place, but. Chapito Montes was a topic that came up. What did you guys think of Chapo Montes?
Man, he's just such an enigmatic figure at this point with the club because he comes on as a sub, plays really, really well for 20, 30 minutes, and you're like, okay, he's won his starting job back, and then he actually starts, and he leaves a lot to be desired.
Yes.
I just don't think his last couple games have not been good.
Yeah.
Back as returning as a starter. Just He can't keep possession for more than a couple of touches. You know, his passes they're just not on point.
It was his best game this season so far. But being his best game, it was maybe not that great. Como like Louis says, deja mucho que desear. Deja mucho que desear, and it's just it's sad to see this. It's sad to see this happen because you know the capacity that he has. He was the MVP like 2 years ago of the league. He led us to a championship, and his decline is I don't know. It's kind of sad to see. I don't know if it's something, that bled in from last season where there were issues in the locker room, obviously. And we know he hasn't been starting the season until now. I think it's mostly because of a shortage of players more than because of his skill. But yeah, I mean, it's sad to see, and he just looks out of shape. He looks slow. He can't complete a pass, just a regular pass. Loses the ball, and it's just I don't know what we're gonna do with this guy. I think that's why we brought in a new guy that we're gonna talk about in a bit.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah, and
Yeah, we
interesting
don't.
enough, yeah, go ahead, Louis.
That's. I mean, we don't have Cavi's clear replacement on the roster right now. Maybe this new guy can turn into that. Maybe Fidel can turn into that. Maybe somebody else can. But at the moment, we don't have his proven replacement on the roster. So, like you say, Carlos, I think it's kind of out of necessity that he's getting these starters minutes. But I don't. I mean, I also think it's kind of a pride thing on his part. I don't think he wants to be. I think his best role is as a super sub at this point. But I don't think he wants to accept that role. I just get that impression from his body language and just who he is. He's got a lot of pride, and I don't think he wants to accept the role that would probably be the best role for him at this point for the club. Team. And that's. I hope. I mean, I could be wrong, but that's the impression that I get.
It's because it's too much of a risk. We understand, como un 10, he is the playmaker, and he makes these great decisions, genius passes at times. But then at times when he doesn't, y pierde la pelota, no corre como antes, no recupera, and so it just becomes like we're not one man down. I don't want to insult him that much, but si no estás corriendo, para recuperar, and te cansas, and físicamente you don't look like you're in the best shape of your life. Yeah, to start, it's kind of interesting or weird why Papa made the decisions he made against Chivas. Maybe he sees something during the week, and then when it's time to play, pasa lo que vimos.
Also, I'm really curious, but what does Paiva see in George Bryce? I'm curious. Very curious.
Oh, Diaz Bryce?
I don't know. Just another body you can throw in there, I guess.
Things... But like, why? Like, I don't understand.
It almost seems like one of those cases where la directiva se lo está imponiendo. Like we've talked about this in the past, where there's been certain guys who just keep getting minutes and you don't know why. And you're like, for some reason, the directiva must want this guy to play. You almost get that impression with Diaz Price because he brings absolutely nothing to the table, never has.
Or Diaz Price is like, hey, Paiva, I got a couple of Benjamins. He wants trying to bribe him this way to Primera División. Yeah, it is kind of weird, right? What? I might be right.
You might be right. No, it's just frustrating because I'm like, but why? Like, I don't understand. Like, I mean, you guys clearly have said, para mí no contribuye con nada. It's a sub that's wasted. I mean, we've talked about, Fede. Why didn't Fede get minutes? I mean,
why didn't Fede get minutes?
So Bryson, like,
that's an interesting question. Like, why isn't Fede getting minutes? Because he started off hot, and we all thought, oh, he started off hot. He looks like a different player. Titular indiscutible. He started the second game against Pumas, and then he had to be subbed off because we were down 10 men.
Yeah, but then after
that, nothing.
That was it.
That was it. 0 minutes. And
and I mean, what's going on? Also, the fact that he was a starter on day one, he must have had a really convincing preseason for Paiva. I mean, that's what I would have thought.
But, and he played really well. He metió un gol de tiro de castigo, which means that he's someone that it's dangerous even from la táctica fija. So it is kind of weird.
It's very strange.
Yeah.
Strange. Also, why do we look better when we're down a man?
Yeah, I was pretty mad at that too. When we're up a man, I'm like, we might not even play like we think we're gonna play because I think we need to be under. And I was kind of mad about it too.
I don't know.
It's a good question.
I think Chivas just closed up. They were defending with basically everyone, and there was just no way to get through them.
That's how they played from the beginning. They bunkered.
Contragolpe, I kept telling you.
And they were looking to be dangerous on the counter or on set pieces. That's it. Like that was their game plan. That's why when I see all their people complaining about El VAR nos robó, you had no capacity to win that game anyway. Like you did nothing to go for that game. You played for the draw, and you got your prize.
Yeah, look, let's be honest. Like, regardless of what you think, si era gol o no, if should have counted, les regalaron un penal. So how are you gonna say que nos robaron? Like you got a penalty that wasn't a penalty, not even in many other eyes, and you missed it. So that's on you.
The weakest penalty I've ever seen called, and they didn't even go to the VAR on that one.
Yeah, so don't be mad at VAR. Be mad at your players and your team, porque juegan ratoneramente. That's the truth. And then that's one of those goals that Vega that we were like, I mean, once in a tournament, right? Once in a tournament. So it's not like you're gonna do that every game. But that being said, No, and I was looking at Louis during the game. I think he said to me twice, "I'm surprised how they're letting them just keep the ball for such a long time."
Yeah. Question for you guys: 3 draws in a row. ¿Les preocupa?
No.
No, I
We've
like
had
the
this
I
conversation,
like the
Louis.
invicto. Remember
Yeah.
the season that we won the title, but all they wanted to talk about that entire season as we were winning game after game after game, all they wanted to talk about was the invicto de Pumas. You remember that?
Facts.
Yeah.
Like
I remember that.
but like 7 out of I don't know, they got to an invicto like 11 games, but 7 of them were draws. You know?
Yeah.
But they
No,
still
this is true, Louis. This is very
made
true.
this
We
huge
keep
deal about el invicto de Pumas, el invicto de Pumas. So I'm taking this opportunity to celebrate our invicto
yeah.
of 4 games to start the season because, as we know, the only thing that matters is the invicto. So we're invictos, and that's and I'm celebrating it.
I'm
Look,
not worried at all. Sorry, Javi, go.
Uh-huh.
no, and El Invicto, like how we came back against Pumas, that felt like a win, but it wasn't. But it felt like one. So yeah, like if eventually they keep winning or tying, but seeing being Invicto, I'm good with it too. Go ahead, Curry.
Puebla, León, Pumas, Pachuca are the only invictos left.
León, Pumas, and Pachuca.
Puebla, León, Pumas, Pachuca.
Oh, Puebla, León, Pumas, Pachuca.
Who loses first?
Puebla.
Who are the others playing this weekend?
Oh, good question. I don't know.
Who, Pumas?
Puebla.
Who are the other 3 playing this weekend?
Puebla's playing Monterrey tomorrow.
Puebla.
Pachuca's playing Necaxa.
At home, though, right? Puebla at home to Monterrey.
Yeah, and then Pumas playing Mazatlan.
That'll be a draw.
Pumas is playing who?
Mazatlan.
Pumas playing Mazatlan.
Yeah.
And then León versus Toluca.
Who's
I
going
don't know.
to answer?
By the way, I mean I want to go off topic. Because I saw the Mazatlan game and I think Benedetti made el oso de la jornada. I was like,
Oh my
whoa.
God.
I turned it on right on that moment. I was like, man, what? That's what you left America, bro. But yeah, I think Puebla loses El Invicto first, just because Puebla.
I'm not worried because, sorry, to answer Carl's question, I'm not worried. I think we knew with the new coach, with new players coming through, there needs to be an adaptation, needing to play together. Obviously, Yairo has had good moments, bad moments. We still don't know what his role this season is. Obviously, we didn't expect Fertisillo to be out, and he is out, but gladly, Paul has been able to own up. Obviously, we're still getting 2 other players. Tenemos gol, and I'm always thinking the good thing about Leon that I have heard commentators talk about.
Do we though? Because in 2 games we've only scored 1 goal.
Yeah, but
yeah, we got some things to work out on that end. Judging by the way we were defended in this previous game, we've talked about so many times about how we have to have an answer when teams play us that way. Like the way Chivas played us reminded me of some of those Ambris teams, and they're like, our best chance is to bunker and counter, like that.
Yeah.
That was just the strategy against us. I feel like, well, Viorio is the danger man, but he's really been the only one. So as long as we close down his area, we should be okay. They need to have an answer for that, and I'm not sure if they really do yet. I'm not saying they can't, but they have to work. They have to work on that still.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I'm cruising along right now. I'm pretty content. Obviously, there's things that could be better, but I'm not. No me estoy desesperando right now at this point. I mean, we still have a lot of opportunities in the next coming games.
Well,
yeah.
Well,
Toluca and America are coming up. I mean, after that.
Here's the thing.
America doesn't scare me. You saw that game against Cholos?
No.
Yeah,
but I mean, they just came.
Also,
playing
they're on this tour. They're on this tour. That's what I was saying. Like, man, I can't wait to play America because I just feel like they're gonna be so tired. And I don't care if you're tired. You're America. You come to Leon, you lose in Leon. We're gonna celebrate that for the whole week. Well, bragging rights a whole week.
When we play them, they'll have just come off playing Real Madrid. No.
Yes.
Or is that after?
They have that game.
That's first.
Yeah.
And they just play these other 2 games and the one against Cholos.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So this is about as good. That'll be about as good a time to play them as there'll ever be.
Yep.
They're going to get destroyed by Real Madrid. I know that will make Cardi happy.
So 4 match days have gone by. I think it's a safe time to give like a grade or right on what we think about the team so far.
Before the
Because if we blow out a team 7-0 in the first match day, it's like, okay, calm down, it's the first game. But we're 4 match days in, we're about to go on the 5th. What do we think so far?
What scale? 1 to what? 10? 1 to 5?
I mean, anything, just whatever. 1 to 5, 1 to 10. How do we see this team? Are we confident? Do we think we can make a title run? How far does this team go?
I think they've shown a lot of resolve. They've shown a lot of heart and grit. The results are still a work in progress, but I think they have the tools to put together a string of results that will put them in a good position by the end of the tournament. I've liked what I've seen so far for the most part. Aside from the indisciplinas, which have left us without a man in 2 out of the 4 matches.
Yeah, that's what I hate, the lesiones and the red cards. But the red cards are more annoying because, like, come on, man. Pero,
that's something that theoretically you can control.
Yeah.
Injuries, the CO's was a freak injury. I mean, that happens. It's part of the game. And red cards are part of the game too, but that's a part of the game you can control. We haven't done a very good job of controlling that.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, I don't know, like one you said 1 through 10?
1 through 10.
Let's do 1 to 5. Let's do 1 to 5.
1 to 5, okay. 5 the highest?
Yeah, okay. Then I'll give it a 3.5.
That's what I was thinking, Javi.
Yeah, because I like what you went 1 to 5, because then I would have said 7.5, 3.8.
I'll go with the 3.
That's too good. Yeah, around there.
I'll go with the 3.
Yeah, because we did start off with the win, and I think that was like a first in the longest, right? So that felt good, especially the way it happened, and me being in San Luis, seeing los goles de Di Llorio. So,
yeah.
And but yeah, with Kari, the tie with Pumas, that was epic.
That was
never seen that happen before. So it's hard to say that I'm very, very happy. It's very hard to say I'm very happy with our team because it's our playing style that sometimes gives me doubts. Porque I know that metemos goles, but a lot of times I'm like, I think we can play better. And I'm yet to see una jugada que me emocione de una manera. I mean, si es el último minuto, I'm always going to celebrate it. Una jugada de fútbol champán, como tenía acostumbrado el León tener, y lo llamaban la naranja limón, no sé, no, la mecánica de limón, no, ¿cómo le llamaban? Esa es la naranja mecánica, la limón mecánica, or whatever. But the point, what I'm trying to say is, I want to see him jugar así because that just shows me que hay un mejor entendimiento. And, sometimes cuando se la dan a Campbell and he's trying to, like, improvise and he's on that's cool and all, but I'd much rather see una jugada rápida, fácil, así como, más como que es de entendimiento y no nomás por un rebote, una equivocación from the other team. But, I'm not mad at Leon. I'm not. We didn't lose against Chivas. That was I told Louis I was happy when I left because I didn't want to come back to this Colonia Satélite. Half of the people here go for Chivas. I don't know. Well, I know why. A lot of them are from Jalisco originally, like 2 generations ago. And some of them are cool. Like the other generations, they go for Leon because like, screw my parents, I don't care. But
they would have booed you.
It's half and half. It's half and half here. No, I'm the biggest talker here. So it's like if I come back. It's like they think I play for Leon, they play, I love it. I love it. It's like, man, it's like Louis was there when there was a guy, we were taking pictures, right, with the mascots of America, Atlas and Chivas. And the America guy came up very snobby, like, oh, arriba León de un palo. And I'm like, man, like, what about America? Like, you guys, oh, somos mejores. ¿Y quién les ganó? ¿Se acuerdan de esa final que le ganamos en su casa? Y no fue la única final, le ganamos una en el 71, campeón de campeones, en su casa. El único equipo. And he was like, I think he got kind of sad too. He didn't say anything after that. But yeah, I like doing that all the time. But it comes with the price. If León loses in Guadalajara, I come back and it's like I played for the team, and they're like, ¿Qué pasó? ¿Qué pasó? No, que tu León. I'm like, shouldn't have said anything.
I'm glad you came back and nothing of that was said to you. Okay, guys, moving on into the jornada rundown before we preview the next game, we started off with our game, drawing 0-0. Monterrey winning against Querétaro 3-0. Mazatlán San Luis drawing 1-1. Necaxa Juárez. Necaxa beating Juárez 1-0. Toluca Santos 2-1. Did you guys watch that game?
I did not.
Like half of it.
Well, the second goal was a definition of a pass of Leon with Ambris play type of goal.
It was like a Leon under Ambris goal. Yeah,
sad. So yeah, Toluca beat Santos 2-1. Cruz Azul drawing 2-2 versus Puebla. Xolos, like we had mentioned, beating America 2-0. Tigres beating Atlas 2-0. Shout out to Luis from Tigres. And Pachuca and Pumas drawing 0-0. Both
that was
had
a good game.
Card.
Even though it was 0-0, the Pachuca Pumas, it was a good game. Up and down, lots of opportunities. It was a good game. Yeah.
In other news, breaking news that this week, Dani Alves came to Liga MX, 39 years old, will be new refuerzo para Pumas. Just I was thinking your thoughts. What are you guys thinking of Dani Alves coming into Liga MX and playing for Pumas?
I mean, I don't know what to think, but I know what other people are thinking. Fútbol Picante ya lo puso como the second most important player to ever come to la Liga Mexicana after Ronaldinho. Por su momento en cómo llegan. Mm-hmm. I agree that they come con mucho nombre. And, you know, I remember cuando eran bombas y venían como Piojo López and Zamorano. You know, I think the thing is, I think it's good because por el nombre, pero I don't think que van a poner como cuando Butragueño llegó con Celaya and he was already old, but he took him to a final. I think he's going to be a player that is just going to sell jerseys. I think he's going to be titular. I think he's going to play well, pero I don't think he's going to be like they're trying to paint him like I don't know. It's good for La Liga Mexicana. Just like even when you think about los partidos que juega América and Chivas and like right now they're playing a lot of them in Vegas and whatever. Mm-hmm. Like why are they playing those games? Well, at least they're, you know, those games, I know they're being shown in England. They're watching. They're kind of just, they're knowing more about Futbol Mexicano. And I think that's, in a way, it's kind of good that, you know, people outside know equipos del Futbol Mexicano. And I'm sure that people in Brazil are talking about Pumas y Futbol Mexicano. And it was interesting because Dani Alves did mention that it was Leon who did the initiative when they were reaching out to him. Whenever they asked him about how did this happen, he mentioned Leon, like, you know, at first, you know, Leon reached out to me. But you know, I eventually took the Pumas offer more serious, and it is what it is, you know.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, about the friendlies, like maybe they're watching in England, but I don't know what they're thinking when Liga MX sides are putting out their first team and still losing to the B team from all these European clubs. I don't know how much that really helps us. I don't know if that's really any sort of good exposure. I still think it's dumb. I just think it's a cash grab. I don't really think it helps. That's my opinion. People can disagree, but that's what I think about that. And as far as Dani Alves, I liken his signing a lot more to Landon Donovan with León than I do to Ronaldinho with Querétaro. Sorry, I just it doesn't do it for me at this point in his career. Yes, he's.
I mean, that's what I said. It's not my opinion. It's what Fútbol Picante is saying. It's true. I agree.
He's the second biggest name after Ronaldinho to play in Liga MX, at least in the past 10 years.
Yeah.
Name, yes, but the player that he is now at this point in his career, I just don't. It doesn't do it for me. I mean, he's free to romperla and prove me wrong. But I just don't see him really helping that team. I don't think he raises the team's ceiling that much, to be honest with you.
Well, we tried to sign him, right? Like a year ago.
We did.
We tried to sign him. So there is a little bit of jealousy on my part because I'm like, dang, like, yes, he's old. Yes, like he's almost 40.
But he's in good shape.
He's in good shape, and he played Los Olímpicos, and he was like one of the best players there at his age. And I mean, just I don't know. If there's ever a poster boy for someone who ages like wine, he's it. Like we used to say this about Chapito, and Clearly,
It's
that's not the
Gianluigi
case
Buffon,
anymore.
bro. It's Gianluigi Buffon. The answer always.
Buffon también.
Buffon también's up there.
Robin
He's up-
Sambuesa, like there's a lot of guys you can put up there, but Dani Alves is like at the top. Like he's still doing it at his age. Is he gonna help Pumas? I think so. But I mean, really, it's not all about one player. It's about who you put around that player. Like if you're gonna play around Dani Alves and his experience and his skills, you know what he brings to Pumas. I don't know if the Pumas have what it takes. They're a good team. They're going to be fun to watch, and I'm pretty sure we're going to get a lot of media attention, international media attention, Liga MX from this signing, which is good.
They already have.
Yeah,
And it's happening.
which is good.
And that's what I was saying.
But if you ask me, I'd rather have Byron Castillo on my team, to be honest. I mean,
There you go, Carlos. Thinking like a true smart.
Yeah, 23-year-old who has his whole future ahead of him, as opposed to someone who's on his way out. I'd rather have Byron Castillo, to be honest.
Yeah, I said I'd rather have someone.
I got to disagree with you, Carlos, about who's at the top of the list of ages like wine. I think the pinnacle of
Tom Brady
is
Tom Brady.
Zlatan Ibrahimovic.
Oh, Zlatan
is the top of that mountain for me. Yeah,
Zlatan he's
Zlatan's still doing it, man.
He's still doing it. I wish he would have come to Napoli. Like he said he was going to go to Napoli because he saw Maradona documentary and he signed with Milan. Don't do that, man. After watching you watching Maradona documentary, nah, man.
Not even.
He came to MLS.
What about Buffon?
I
came
hate
to
to say
MLS
this.
at 37 and was the best player in the league.
Yeah.
Oh, Zlatan,
Still
King of LA, bro.
Still went back to play for Milan after that.
Yeah. Not even.
Yeah.
Is he 40? How old is he?
He's 40.
He's up there. Yeah. Not even Cristiano.
Hey, don't talk
hey. Hold your tongue on that. That man's gonna play till 50. Watch.
He will play.
He's just trying to jump from club to club.
He will eventually be at the top of that list, but he's not there
He can
yet.
do whatever he wants, okay? He can do whatever he wants.
No, he's just trying to leave Manchester United because he wants to play another Champions League.
Yeah,
I can see why he wanted.
Yeah, he's Mr. Champions. Like, why wouldn't you want to do
He
that?
is Mr. Champions, just like Shawn Michaels is Mr. WrestleMania. He
can do
Mr.
whatever
Champion.
he wants as long as he doesn't join PSG.
Don't do that. The thing about Cristiano that I do say I admire is that he takes up challenges, and he's the kind of guy who would probably want to break the record of who is probably the oldest active player to ever. He's definitely going to break the most goals ever scored ever. But he's a player, a person. I don't see him as just a player, a person that I see he has a great mente de querer ser, always better and like probably always go to the gym, and I can see him working out till he's 50, bro. Like I can see him playing like that just because I feel that's what he likes to do. You know what I mean? And there's other players that are very talented, but I do feel like eventually they're just gonna want to, retire.
Yeah, it's a lifestyle. I like the Dani Alves thing. I didn't think it would happen, honestly. At his 39 years, and like Carlos said, he just played Los Juegos Olímpicos, and I think he might play his last World Cup at that age. He looks.
Yeah.
I take him more seriously than I did Ronaldinho, because Ronaldinho obviously was not as fit, but Ronaldinho, obviously, we're just like, oh my gosh, Ronaldinho's coming. I mean, that kind of gave that type of aspect in his llegada a Liga MX. So, I mean, I'm excited to see. I don't think Pumas has a bad team. So I'm curious to see what they look like.
Yeah.
And he's ready to go. So we might see him play against Mazatlan. So that'll definitely be interesting.
Yeah, the difference about him and Ronaldinho though is that Ronaldinho walked off the field in protest or por berrinche.
Yeah.
And I don't think Dani Alves is going to do something like that.
No.
And also, I think. Also, I mean, the thing about Ronaldinho to me was that he's definitely one of the best ever to ever do it, and people just want to see him do a little trick, like honestly, eso es lo que valía el boleto. When jugó contra la América, remember that he had a standing ovation. That was crazy.
I remember that.
So
I got to touch his shoulder, so I'm content with life.
What?
Here you go, Kari.
So when Ronaldinho was with Querétaro and they had a friendly in Dallas, and I think I saw the time that they're going to do practice at. So I called one of my friends and say, "Hey, do you want to go see Ronaldinho?" And this fool says, "Which Ronaldinho?" I'm like, "What do you
This
mean,
fool?
which one? There's only one." Like, they're training at FC Dallas. Like, we got to go really, really early. Like, pick me up around like 6:30 in the morning because I think they had it started at 8. So we got there. People were already there around the fences. So we were on one side of the fence, on one side of the field. While we didn't know, they changed the bus entry to the other side. So we all had to move. But I do have video when he was training and stuff like that. And when he's leaving, we ran to the gates. I think I stepped on a kid's foot, right? Because we're all like, and I have video like trying to like, record. And then I found out what hotel he was staying at. So I told my friend, let's go to the car, let's go to the hotels around the corner. So we get there. My friend didn't even park the car. He like just put it in park in the middle of the parking lot. We got off the car, ran to the hotel. It was like Ronaldinho has like 4 securities around him, and people were like he was like signing stuff. And I have a picture of like that I took, and Ronaldinho's in the middle. And I got to touch his shoulder, and I'm done. I'm good with life with that. But yeah, that was my
Wow.
Yeah, I regret being in Mexico, not being able to see Ronaldo, go to a game and just try to see him. Same thing with Maradona. But I also don't want to ever be a person that wants to meet their idols like that. Like I will probably, like, if I would have seen Diego, I would have been like, I would have probably cried. And I know he hates people that cry, so I don't want to cry in front of him, so I just don't want to meet him. I love him same thing with Ronaldinho. I just, like, no, it's very true, guys. Like, I would have probably cried. He would have not liked it. I'm like, oh man, he didn't like that I cried. Please give it. But with Ronaldinho, I dropped the ball on that one too.
I mean, just like I've covered games and interviewed a couple players here and there. I still have my like fan girl moments because I used to stalk the Selección Mexicana when they went to Dallas, like when I was younger, and be outside the hotel and I am a fangirl. You just have to try and find the balance if you're doing something professionally. But
yeah,
I got to touch Ronaldinho's shoulder in that moment.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
But anyways, moving along. So like we mentioned in the beginning, we are facing Toluca, Nacho Ambriz, Meneses, Mosquera, and Navarrito. How are we feeling about this Toluca game? Are we nervous? They're coming off of a win, and we are coming off of a draw.
Hey, they look good. I mean, I'm not going to go so far as to say, like you did, Carlos, that people think they're the best team in the league. There's a difference between being el mejor reforzado and the most intriguing.
I heard Pachuca is playing better
than the best. I think, Pachuca I would say is el que mejor juega. Toluca is maybe el mejor reforzado, most intriguing.
Y León el más
also. León is kind of a mystery.
Card didn't hear
that. Mystery Leon's right now.
Bringing in a new coach, but I mean,
we're mysterious.
Even the players they let go, they still have a lot of the base that they had before, and so like people are thinking, well, maybe they can figure things out and make a run too, and be very, very dangerous in Liguilla. So I think we've got a matchup of two teams that kind of people are really intrigued by for perhaps different reasons, but also intertwined reasons. Obviously, a grand part of what Toluca is now is what León was when they were at their best a couple of years ago.
Exactly.
That's obviously a fact that we can't deny. But I'll be honest with you guys. Yes, they got 3. How much did they get 3 former León players?
3 of them.
Well, 3 of them. Well, Navarro came from Pachuca, right?
Yeah, right. But we still own this card, so I count.
Yeah,
he counts.
The only one I really missed when I watched this version of León play, and I'm like, if we had him back, that would really, really help us. That is Meneses. The other 2, Navarro at this point in his career, after his major injury and also the attitude issues that he's had, I don't really need him back. I liked him a lot. He was one of my favorites for a while, but his exit was kind of bitter. His situation with Pachuca was not great. I could do without him. And Mosquera, I hate to say this, but I think we kind of overvalued him. I think we kind of overvalued him a little bit. I think nobody nobody valued him more than Leon or perhaps Nacho Ambriz would. And that's why he's with Toluca because, I mean, he's a favorite of Ambriz. I think he, in the grand scheme of things, now looking at it from a 30,000-foot view, shall we say, looking at it from afar, now that he's with a different team, I think he's a very average center back in Liga MX. The only really transcendent player out of that group of three that could still be really helping us right now is Meneses. I do miss him. I miss him a lot. Watching that game against Chivas is like, having Meneses in there would really help us. Having Colombatu in there would really help us. But he's obviously not with Toluca. But yeah,
just reminiscing on players.
So he's the one that I'll be looking. I said last week we need Byron to be really, really on his game against Chicote and against Vega.
He's really good against Vega.
This week, and he was really good against those guys. This week, he needs to be on his game against Meneses. That's what I'll be watching for, mostly. I don't care about they're going to try to make a big narrative about Leon 2.0, like Leon 2.0, and all this stuff, and they're going to make a big story and a big narrative and a big hullabaloo about it. I'll be mostly concerned about how Byron, our refuerzo estrella, plays against Meneses. That's what I'll be looking for. And the Iorio has turned into a refuerzo estrella. He wasn't very sondeado though. He's been a pleasant surprise. Yeah. Byron was the big get. So I'll be very, very curious to see how he plays against Meneses.
Yeah, I agree. I'm not scared of Toluca. They're saying that it's el equipo más reforzado. Yes, not scared of any other players. To be honest, Fernandez plays okay, but I really do believe that this is going to be one of the most important games because aparte de lo del morbo, and I'm pretty sure people are going to talk about what we just said, Leon 2.0, and I think they have a really good opportunity they're at home, and una victoria en casa en contra Toluca will just make everything feel like everything the last couple of games. It all ties it up in a big ribbon of just, no sé, Esmeralda Gloria. I think what we really need to focus on, man, is like not like you said, Byron, he's going to be on top, and hopefully he stops Meneses and focus on that side. I think we did a good job, and I think we're going to get an important piece, which is Barreiro. What you guys said about Mosquera is true. I think que él fue los que siempre se desconcentraba en momentos más críticos, like in a very immature way. Hopefully he does that with Toluca, and hopefully he does what he did to us with them. And with Meneses, yeah, he's dangerous. We got Byron. And Navarro metió un gol contra Toluca, and he hizo una celebración like he was toluqueño de nacimiento, so I don't care about him. And yeah, I'm not scared.
I'm not scared. I'm not scared. I'm just a little nervous because a lot of these players want to beat your old team. You want to be, and none of our players are like Toluca players, so we're just kind of going into this game like, okay, they're a good team. They've been playing well.
Yeah, they also want to beat their old coach, man. They want to beat their old coach.
But they want to beat their old coach, and they want to beat their old colleagues on a new team. I mean,
yeah, but
the guys on our side who were still there. I mean, talking about Chapo, talking about Mena, Davila, Chapo, even Osby, even Jairo.
Yeah,
like
man.
Campbell.
Yeah, bro. I was talking to Campbell, and he said he hates Toluca and Toluca people. So how do you know he's not gonna play con todos sus fuerzas?
No.
I just feel
okay. That's a lie again. I don't want to lie on Campbell.
I hear you, Carlos. There's guys that don't even figure into this story, who are not going to feel the same pressure. But I'm talking about the ones who are, the ones I just mentioned, the ones who were a group of brothers, and now they're playing for different sides. It matters to those guys to beat this Toluca team. For sure it does.
Yeah. But it also matters to the guys on Toluca.
To them.
It matters to Meneses, for sure. It matters because he wanted out for a while. It matters to Mosquera. It matters the most to Nacho Ambriz.
But I don't.
I think it matters the most to Nacho Ambriz.
I don't know. I don't think we can say it matters more to Toluca than it does to Leon. This part of the story. I think that'd be projecting a little bit.
I think it's going to be a great. I think it's going to be a great game. I think it's going to be an up and down game. Like I told you guys in the chat, I don't think Toluca is gonna ratonear us into a draw like Chivas
which is
did.
interesting.
They're going to actually attack us and look to win the game, and that opens up a lot of spaces. And
Ooh,
that's
yes,
where
it
we're the
does.
most, and that's where we're the most dangerous.
Yes, we've
So
always known this about Leon and the players that we still have como base. The fact is that they know this, that Leon plays really well, like that, so siempre les juegan igual, como esperándolos, and then they play the contragolpe. Pero Leon plays amazing the contragolpe. Even against San Luis, I remember in some jugadas, and I was like, damn, we're very dangerous. Even like from like last season that I remember, um, we have these options. We have really fast players on the wings on both sides. And that could be very dangerous. Campbell, Byron, Jairo, whoever you want to put on that on both sides. Um, but yeah, I think Nacho definitely wants to. He would want to win, but hopefully he doesn't. That's all I can say. Hopefully he overthinks a game or a player and he's like, I'm gonna put Mosquera in this situation. Que siempre vaya maybe Mosquera's can make an autogol. I don't know, man. I just hope que
That
nos
would be
vaya bien a
epic.
nosotros. You would love that, Louis.
I would love that. I would be very.
But you
very
love
happy
if
with that.
Osby made un gol de media cancha and he looks at the stands and he points at you like, for you, man. Will you
Well,
be happy?
I'll certainly be happy if Osby does not make an outfield goal like he did the last time we played Toluca.
Oh God.
Hey, man, you have to bring that up against Osby.
But
You
I'll
know
say
all
this
the
much.
anti-Osby facts.
I'll say this
We're
much.
not anti. We're just
If it
frustrated.
if it is an open game with
No,
lots of
Louis
space,
anti-Osby.
if it is an open game with lots of space, like you say it is, Carlos, and I'm inclined to agree with you. If it is going to be that kind of game, Toluca's defense does not scare me. Yes, se reforzó bien, but all of them were attacking players. Like their defense was one of the worst in the league last season, and it still doesn't scare me. It doesn't scare me. I think
well, they did get Thiago Volpi.
they did get Thiago Volpi. Thiago Volpi, but I'm talking more about their
Why
back
did
line.
you
Their
remind
back
me about
line,
Volpi?
their back line was one of the worst in the league last season, and I don't expect that to change too much this season. That will be their Achilles heel. I think they depend a lot on maintaining possession and always being in their opponent's attacking third just to thrive. And so that's got to be the game plan. Can't let them get into that kind of comfort zone.
Yeah,
have to be dangerous from beginning to end.
I think a lot of this game, the result, the outcome of this game is going to depend also on the tactics, right? You have Nacho Ambriz, a seasoned coach in Liga MX. He's already won a chip. And then you have Paiva, who's just coming in. He's still learning, doesn't know the ins and outs of Liga MX yet. And these two clash. So who's going to win the tactical competition here, you know?
That's very interesting.
It's gonna be a very interesting game. I'm hoping it all goes well for us. A win would be amazing.
Carillo, don't sound very
I am nervous like you. Like I'm not scared, but
Yeah.
I'm just nervous because this is.
Are you going to make a surprise appearance at Estadio León again, Cody?
Ooh,
No.
okay.
No, I know. I was thinking of a Sunday, but I don't think that's. I mean, it's like a thought I had far back in my head, but I was like,
Come against America. Come on, you know you want to.
Do it.
I don't know. Stop. Ya no me metan ideas. Okay, so doble jornada, which as we know in the past has not been the best for Leon, but hopefully this season we'll have many doble jornadas due to the season being crammed up. So tomorrow,
this isn't a true doble jornada though. I mentioned this on the last pod. This isn't a true doble jornada. We played Wednesday. We're playing on Tuesday, and we don't play again. And we don't play again until Sunday. So this is not. This is not a traditional, like really cramped doble jornada. So I think
we got lucky, right?
Yeah, that's something to consider too. Well, we got lucky because we don't have any of these stupid friendlies that we have to play in the U.S.
Yeah.
So we got at least 5 days between each of our of this 3-match stretch. So yeah, we did get kind of lucky there.
We did.
Got to take advantage of that.
We are, I think. That game, I am not that worried as this game against Toluca. Not scared, a little worried, nervous, maybe is the better question. But yeah, against America, doble jornada in the past, doble jornadas have not been looking good for us. But like Luis said, it doesn't feel like at least for the player, it wouldn't have to feel like a doble jornada. They should be rested up.
They should.
Yeah.
But I think the bad thing here is that we get the wrath of America after they lost to Xolos. Like, who loses to Xolos? And now they come
And
back
after they'll-
extra motivated.
America.
And
they're
after
gonna
they
lose
will surely
against
have
Madrid.
lost to Real Madrid's B team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now
Yeah.
they come in extra motivated, knowing they have to win. The next
Or they come, just
So
like
it's
they
like,
are, and they get
uh-oh.
goleados, and then the next team gets la goleada del América. But not Leon. They'll feel the wrath. They'll feel the wrath of America after they get goleados por Leon. That would really make them mad.
That's funny. Okay, so right quickly before we go to predictions, any big changes that we think are going to happen in the starting lineup?
Ooh. Who's our center backs? That's the thing.
Yeah,
who
I'm just
starts
curious
at
about
center
that back
backs?
line. That's really it.
Oh man,
I don't
it's
want
because
Osby,
Fidelito's been
but
doing such a
Osby's
great
starting.
job, but I don't know. I don't know about this against this team.
I think Barreiro's going to start, honestly.
It's Barreiro and Belon.
But yeah, Belon.
Barreiro and Belon.
Right back is gonna be our
What's
star
his name?
signing, Castillo, and then Osby
Yeah, Byron.
on the other side, and then middle is gonna be Chapo again and Jefecito.
You
Jefecito
think
had a great
Chapo's
game.
starting?
Who else
No
are
hay
you gonna put
más.
there? Who else are you gonna put there?
No hay más.
No hay más.
I know. Jornada 1, he played Fede, Davila, and Giorio.
Yeah.
But I don't. Yeah, the Fede situation is weird, man.
Then you
Hopefully
have
we'll see him.
up front. You have Davila, Campbell, Mena, and Di Llorio, right?
Mena.
He kind of looks a little slow.
Yeah.
You'd rather have Fede, right?
Yeah. Como que Mena
I
no
don't know.
entra así muy bien. So I'd rather have Fede over Mena.
Yeah.
Honestly. I mean,
Yeah, me too.
Joel and Mena in that game, I think one thing that Leon has been characterized lately in the past couple of seasons is that they have a lot of interchangeable players that move very well around the field. And that's what Mena and Joel Campbell kept doing on the wings, kept switching. But no sé, Mena como que le falta más. So I'd rather bench Mena and start Fede.
Yeah. We'll see.
But well, shout out to the Green Power Ranger. He already given us his prediction. By the team, win. Green Ranger prediction 3-2 Leon. He predicts a very high scoring game.
High scoring game.
So, with that being said, guys, are you guys ready for your prediction time?
Let's go.
Yes.
Let's do it.
Prediction time!
Prediction time. Javi and Lou will be in attendance. So, Javi, you get one shot and one shot only. What is your prediction for tomorrow's game?
My prediction is 3-2. 3-2. What about you, Hasi? You came when they said prediction time. What do you go for? You go for Cholos, huh? Because you're a dog. I think 3-2 is what I'm gonna go with.
High scoring game.
I agree with Power Rangers. With Tommy.
Okay, 3-2. Javi, Louis, your prediction, sir.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with a 2-1. I think it's gonna be back and forth, but I don't think it's gonna be that high scoring. I think it's gonna be a 2-1 Leon.
2-1 Leon. Carlos, your prediction?
Also high scoring. I think it's going to be very open. Let's remember these two teams. Very last match day of the season last season gave us a 4-4. Both looking for the win, obviously. So I think they're both going to be looking for the win this time too. 3-2, Leon.
3-2.
3-2.
3-2, 2-1. I'm going to say 3-1. Might as well be different. 3-1. I'm hoping the Yorio comes in clutch with the brace. Yeah, that's. Oh my God, I'm getting more nervous now. I'm getting more nervous now for tomorrow.
Yeah, he's got to take back the líder de goleo.
Yeah.
Yes, he does.
Santi Jimenez was about to leave.
Yeah, Santi Jimenez is about to leave.
Will
So
leave.
He's gonna get it back anyway.
Where's he leaving?
Probably, but
He's leaving after his last
Going
game will be
to
tomorrow.
Netherlands, I
after
think.
Oh, he's going
Yeah.
to a team in the Netherlands.
Yeah, Feyenoord.
Feyenoord.
Oh, Feyenoord. Okay, that's good for him then.
Yes, very
That's
very
those
good.
are good teams to play, and you thought you're gonna get minutes, and they're usually trampolines to go to other
Yeah.
leagues.
What's crazy is when I went to because I ended up going to Amsterdam.
Oh yeah.
Train. We passed by that stadium where Sadi's gonna play. I was like,
Wow.
Oh, she's taking a picture.
I know. It was on the other side, but I was like, and curiously that day that we got there, Janssen was playing with Holland in that stadium. We're gonna try and go, but it didn't work out with the time wise. But Santi will be leaving. His last game will be tomorrow against San Luis. Maybe he'll score, and that would be awesome for him. But I'm hoping he goes and gets minutes. That's another topic for something else as in regards to national team. Yeah, guys. So safe trip. I know it's a short trip, but safe trip to the stadium tomorrow. Hope you guys have fun. Yeah.
Yeah,
Always
man.
make friends. Always make friends.
It's probably gonna be sold out, right? Because they were doing some promotion for
They're
Yeah,
cheap
Louis
tickets, no?
Louis bought all the tickets. Louis bought like 45 million tickets.
No, I got one cortesia for each of my 2 seats, so I have 4
Ha,
tickets
ha.
total. Yeah.
Ha! What
you
person
go.
ticket for? What are you, reventador, bro? You're gonna go
You
out
have
there.
you have all of them.
No, they're accounted for.
I am lying. I am
Friends of
lying. I
mine,
am lying.
some friends of mine here asked for them, so yes, they're accounted for.
Nice.
I need a lawyer up after this
There should be a
podcast.
full
I've been
house then.
awfully accusing people. What?
I said it should be a full house tomorrow.
Hopefully, man, because I think that's the. I mean, the game is at 9, and it's like that because people are working, and I'm pretty sure hopefully they can make it to the game. But it's looking like it might be one because the tickets are cheap, and I think a lot of us are feeling what you guys we're all feeling. We're nervous. This is a good team, but we need a win at home, and a win at home would mean a lot, right?
And against
Yeah.
Nacho Breeze.
And against Nacho, yeah, people are gonna come out for that.
Yeah.
They're gonna be loud. We need to be loud.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna go ahead and take off. So thank you guys for everybody that joined us, everybody listening. We're happy to be here on the Monday Night Football. We'll definitely be back next week. So keep an eye on the Toluca game tomorrow and versus America on Sunday. For any reason you guys are missing the game out, don't forget to follow Club Leon EN to keep you updated with all the live updates of the goals, everything that's happening during the match, and definitely be on the lookout for Louis and Javi as they're always attending the games, giving us a pre-game video. I don't think I've seen. Can we get a victory dance tomorrow?
I don't usually do them at the home games, but
Yeah.
we'll see.
a while.
We saw one against San Luis. There was one
Yeah,
against San
I
Luis.
got one.
I recorded
in
that one.
match day. I got one in match day 1 at San Luis. That was a nice nice relief.
Yeah, I recorded that one. Yeah. Yeah, hopefully we
Okay,
see a
guys.
victory dance, man.
Cool.
Alrighty.
All right, guys.
All right, guys. Scotty, you're muted.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're muted,
Uh-oh.
Kari. I can hear you.
All right.
I thought it was oh man, my right now is messing up.
You're good. Okay, guys, we're gonna go ahead and take off. Thank you for joining us. Don't forget to follow us on all social medias, and we'll see you guys on another episode
Say
of
bye, Monchi.
Yes. Like, leave me alone.
Ah, la bala fiera, Edgar.